Right now, section transitions are everywhere on award-winning websites, and they are one of those things that instantly make a site feel more premium and polished. In this video, we are going to cover a section transition based on an F1 theme, and I found this website on inspo.page. After few tries, I was able to achieve this. I almost copied everything, except I did not pin the header. If you like this kind of breakdown content, make sure to subscribe to the channel. It really motivates me to create more content like this. So without wasting any more time, let's get started. My layout.js is very simple. I just imported a font and Lenis component for smooth scrolling. Inside the page.js, we will create our entire layout. At first, I'm creating a header inside a fragment and setting it to full screen height and width with relative position and a black background. Inside it, I'm adding an image element, setting it to cover the full size using object cover and reducing the opacity to 70%. Next, I'm creating another div, positioning it absolutely to cover the full area and using flexbox to center the content. Inside this div, I'm adding an h1 with a very large font size, uppercase text, semi-bold font weight, minimal line height, white color, and centered alignment to make the layout feel strong and clean. Our header is done. Next, I'm creating a section, setting it to full screen height and width, and using flex to center everything with some horizontal padding. Inside this section, I am adding a paragraph with a large font size, semi-bold font weight, tight line height and centered alignment using a grey color to keep it clean and readable. Now, our layout part is completely done. It's time to create the section transition. First, I am creating the section transition component and then importing it inside the header. Next, I am creating the section transition as a client component and importing everything needed for this animation. Now I am creating a config object to store values like mobile size, desktop size, angle and height ratio, which will control how the block looks. Next, I am creating a calculate grid function to dynamically calculate the grid based on the screen size. First, I am getting the viewport width and height and checking if it is a mobile device. Based on that, I am choosing a different width percentage from the config. Then I am calculating the width and height of each grid item. After that, I am figuring out how many rows and columns are needed to cover the entire screen, including some extra columns to handle the angled layout. Finally, I am returning all these calculated values so they can be used to properly position and size the grid items. Now inside the section transition, I am creating a container ref and a shapes ref to store all the elements and a state to hold the grid data. Next, I am using use layout effect to calculate the grid when the component mounts. I am also adding a resize event listener so the grid updates whenever the screen size changes and cleaning it up when the component unmounts. If the grid is not ready yet, I am returning an empty full screen container with the ref attached, so nothing breaks while the grid is being calculated. Next, I am extracting values like rows, columns, item width, item height and width percentage from the grid and then calculating the total number of items by multiplying rows and columns. Then I am creating the main container div, attaching the ref, making it full screen, positioning it absolutely and hiding the overflow while disabling the pointer events. Inside it, I am creating another div and setting it up as a grid. I am defining the rows and columns dynamically based on the calculated values, giving each column a fixed width and slightly shifting it on the x-axis to align the layout properly. I am also expanding the width beyond the viewport to handle the angled layout and making sure it covers the full screen with absolute positioning. Now I am generating all the grid items dynamically using a loop based on the total number of items. For each item, I am calculating its row and column position and slightly shifting alternate rows on the x-axis to create their staggered layout. Then I'm creating a div for each shape, attaching a ref to control it later and setting its size, skew transform and scale to get that angled look. I'm also styling it with a white background and border, placing it correctly inside the grid and using a clip path so it can be animated later for the reveal effect. Now that all the grids are generated, it's time to animate them. I am using use layout effect to animate all the grid elements once everything is ready. First I am checking if the grid element exists. Then I am using GSAP.context for better control and cleanup. I am setting the initial state of all shapes using clip path so they start hidden. After that I am animating them to fully visible using GSAP, adding a random stagger to create that staggered reveal effect. Finally, I'm linking the animation to scroll using ScrollTrigger, so the reveal happens smoothly as the user scrolls. I am also cleaning everything up when the component unmounts. With this, our animation is perfectly done. If this video helped you, let me know in the comments. I will see you in the next one.